Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel, and in today's presentation we are going to discuss about the root and soil. This video is part of a series called The Anatomy of the Plant, and this is the second part. This slide shows you the topics that are going to be discussed in this presentation today. The content are going to be discussed briefly to provide a general idea about the subject. The roots of the plant are a major support system. The roots are responsible to keep the trees firmly attached to the ground. They help anchor and stabilize the entire mass of the plant. The roots are usually highly branched and form complex network underneath. They extend themselves to obtain more nutrients for the growth. For most of the plants, the extension for the roots is limited to a range of 3 to 5 meters below the ground. However, for certain plants they could extend further below or remain mainly towards the surface of the ground. They also help the plant to absorb water and minerals present in the soil. The development and growth begins by the process of germination. When a seed begins to germinate, they will develop a small root-like structure which is called a radicle. Then the radicle will further develop in a thick, tapered taproot. From this taproot there will emerge thinner and smaller branches of root. There are some roots which do not develop from another root, but they are instead part of the stem or the leaf, and they are called adventitious roots. When the root system starts to extend itself further into the ground, it will form a fibrous root system, and this system usually comprises of large numbers of finer roots. If we closely observe the developmental process for the young roots, we can divide them into 4 different regions. These regions are the root cap, the region where cell division takes place, the region for elongation, and lastly the region for maturation. Now we are briefly going to discuss about the 4 different regions. The root cap, it is mainly composed of a mass of cells which are called the parenchyma cells. They form a layer of coating around the tip of each root. The function of a root cap is to protect from damage. The cells of the root cap have an average lifespan of less than a week, and when the cells shed, a new root cap is developed. Region of cell division, the cells in this region are composed of an apical meristem. These cells are actively dividing cells and are located in the center of the root tip. Cell division can be primarily observed next to the root cap. Region of elongation, this region merges with the cells present in the region of cell division. Here the cells mature and grow in their length and width. At the same time, the tiny vacuoles merge and grow until 1 or 2 large vacuoles, occupying up to 90% or more of the volume of each cell, have been formed. Region of maturation, most of the cells mature, or differentiate, into the various distinctive cell types of the primary tissues in this region, which is sometimes called the region of differentiation, or root hair zone. Most of the plants have the ability to either have a fibrous root system or a taproot system. And sometimes they can have both as well. For certain plants, the roots are modified for several other functions and can perform other tasks rather than just absorption of water and minerals. For instance, certain plants have developed roots that are referred to as food storage and water storage roots. There are several other forms of specialized roots present in nature. However, the aim of this presentation is to provide only a brief overview on the subject. Food storage roots. Some roots have the ability to store large amounts of starch and other carbohydrates, which may be used later for extensive growth. Some examples include sweet potatoes and yams. Food storage plants can also have a combination of both roots and stem. For example, carrots, beets, and turnips. Water storage roots. Example for these kinds of roots are members from the pumpkin family. This is particularly characteristic of those that grow in arid regions or in those areas where there may be no precipitation for several months of the year. Soil is a mixture of complex organic materials present on the Earth's crust. The components can include several grades of sand, rocks and pebbles, powdery silt, clay, humus, dead leaves and twigs, clods consisting of soil particles held together by clay and organic matter, plant roots, and small animals, such as ants, pillbugs, millipedes, and earthworms. Also present, but not visible, would be millions of microorganisms, particularly bacteria, fungi, and, of course, air and water. Climate around the globe is not consistent and can vary greatly from region to region. In desert areas, for example, there is little weathering by rain, and soils are poorly developed. In areas of moderate rainfall, however, well-developed soils are common. In some areas of high rainfall, the excessive flow of water through the soil may leach out important minerals. If we were to dig up the ground, we will find many kinds of organisms in the soil, as well as roots and other parts of plants. The bacteria and fungi present in the soil are responsible to decompose organic matter, which accumulates when leaves fall, and plants and animals dies. They help break down organic matter and decompose it beneath the ground. Roots and all other living organisms produce carbon dioxide, which combines with water in the soil and forms an acid, thereby increasing the rate at which minerals dissolve. Many insects, earthworms, burrowing animals, and birds all alter the soil through their activities and add to its organic content either through wastes that they deposit or through the decomposition of their bodies when they die. Thank you for watching this video. There will be 2 more videos coming every week following this series of plant anatomy. Please subscribe for more videos.